hit record, and now we're recording if you want to.
All right, we'll call to order the Parks Committee meeting, March 11th, 2021 at 7:01 PM. And do a roll call
Mr. Chairman O'Regan,
here.
Mr. Marisi,
Here.
Mr. Wild,
Here,
and Mr. Brazil is absent due to an excused absence.
And next we have approval of the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda for March the 11th, 2021.
And I will second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nay. Good. Approval of the minutes. For
February
either-
27, 2020.
Yeah. Approval of the minutes for Thursday, February 27th, 2020.
I approve the minutes.
Any second?
I'll do that.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
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 No nays. Okay, we'll move on. Old business. I don't think there is any old
No
business.
business, Mr. Chairman.
All right. New business. This is my 27th. I don't have the current one.
So under new business, I had prioritizing elements from the master plan. This was to get some priorities and a discussion started on what the committee's recommendations are so that we can start putting that into the budget.
And is this for which part?
All of them.
All of them. All two of them. Rolling Rock and Paul Fisher. Right. Okay. So how do you think we should work this?
Well, based on, just make sure my phones are off. Based on the conversation that the chairman and I had is we discussed the need to start prioritizing the elements from this master plan. We applied for a grant for the Rolling Rock Park and that fell through. So, at this point, the question is, what can we fit within the budget? What do we want to start tackling first while we're trying to get more funding lined up so we can tackle these bigger projects? For instance, the chairman and I talked about just starting off with irrigation, maybe adding some shade trees, doing little projects that are incremental and that are within our budget constraints. Like I said, while we're trying to get thousands of dollars in grants so we can do these bigger items.
Right.
And I included that section from the master plan in your packet. It has the different program elements that make up the site improvements, and it has the budget line item with that as well. So I was hoping the committee could pick out certain pieces or line items that we could start working on, such as the state food. Does that help?
Yeah, I think so. I know one, the two biggest complaints that I have heard from coming out of Paul Fisher Park is the lack of shade trees, especially during the summer when it really gets hot and they're afraid that the little ones are gonna get sunburned. that's a pretty important item for Paul Fisher. And then, of course, the second thing was green grass in the park. During the summer, it just all turns brown. I don't know
Well,
what. Yeah, I haven't heard any complaints about Rolling Rock, but, you know, I'm over here and Rolling Rock's over there.
Could I jump in?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we, looking back at the minutes from February, which at that time, we weren't involved with the situation we are now, but prior to that, the discussion has been to develop Rolling Rock Park, Paul Fisher Park before Rolling Rock because of the children. And the sprinkler system was much easier to get going. The system had been tested and we found the heads, etc. And of course that I understand from when we had discussions almost last year that we should be able to get those going this year. And of course we've had some setbacks obviously, but to me and most people and for the young children, the sprinkler system is a priority. And then obviously another question that or a suggestion that came up temporarily to have some kind of canopies till we get the trees going, so there's a place for them to get out of the shade. Is that right, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, I think we had discussed along those lines. I don't know if we purchased trees, just how big a tree.
No, we hadn't. Yeah. And then again, the other thing was they didn't want to put the trees in till we were sure about the walkways. You see, so I think the stopgap was to have some kind of canopies that we could use temporarily until we were sure as to where we were going to have the walkways, etc. That way, the children can still play and we should have some shade.
Yes.
Well, I kind of agree. However, looking at the Paul Fisher master plan, it seems to me we could work around the walkway area as far as shade trees.
I've lost it. What page is that on now? I didn't keep these pages together, unfortunately.
I'll loan you my stapler.
Okay, how much is the rent?
0.
Okay, you're a good man. Now, we don't have a cost estimate, do we, for Paul Fisher here?
Yes, it's
Yeah,
in there. I'll give you the exact.
Oh, I got it. Okay. And of course, that was for the whole thing, obviously. But I understood that we had some money in the budget, for, at least for the sprinklers. And I don't know if that's correct.
that was my understanding too,
Mhm.
but I don't know if that's still in the budget or what. And my understanding was I got 2 different stories. One, we could repair the existing system, which we fired up a couple years ago. And then, but then I think the sprinkler company said it'd be a lot easier just to lay down new lines. So I don't know what is what. I noticed on, where are we? Okay. New and restored irrigation system, I see a cost of $25,780.
Mm.
I don't know what the cost estimate was on just repairing the old system, which seems to be working fine other than several breaks in the system.
I think the actual condition of the sprinkler system, Max had a pretty good handle on that because he was working with the people that came out and tested, etc. And he could probably give us a better understanding as just what the situation is with those lines and sprinklers, don't you think, Al?
Well, yeah, he definitely would have a better idea. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
he's more involved with the irrigation company and he's the
Correct.
one installed the manifolds and control valves and all that. And I think he has it all hooked up, ready to go, just hooking up the water lines.
I mean, the thing is, we're so close to being able to run water there that I think it's something that we should really look at and see if we can prioritize that. That would be a big boost for a start. Of course, the question is, could we run water with the sprinkler system that we have, and then as the design changes, change the lines to fall in line with what the concept is, if that's how we go with it. Because it's going to be a while before we can complete the whole project as it indicates because of the funding, but at least if we could do something with the grass with the present sprinkler system would be great.
Well, I don't know what Tony thinks, but I kind of have a tendency to agree with you. I think if we
Yes.
got the line charged up, and we could figure out where to plant the trees, the shade trees. And if I don't see any issue with the lines going under the new walkways because I don't think that's a big deal.
Right. At least it gives us a chance to do something this year, even though it may be temporary, to have something for the kids and particularly for some shade until we get trees planted and allow them to develop.
Yes, I agree.
I agree. I also think that it would be good for the citizens to see that we're actually doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though it's a small portion of the large project.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. One thing about the water, the irrigation system is, you notice we have two wellheads there in Paul Fisher. And they're unusable. It's my understanding because of the arsenic in the water. And with those wellheads, I know one injury has already occurred some years ago, running into those wellheads that are above grade. I would hope that at the same time we deal with that, we somehow get those wellheads below grade.
I agree.
Okay. I don't know if George did or not.
I'm having technical difficulties here. I'm running out of battery here, so I just have to reconnect, but I do agree, yes.
Okay, good. I don't know how that would happen. I don't know if you call the drill company that drilled the wells to, dig down and cut them and re-weld the tops below grade. I don't know how that works. But I think as for me, it's always been a safety issue. And it would also, make it a little bit easier, excuse me, a little bit easier for when Bob mows, instead of mowing around them. You
Yeah.
know, if you have them below grade, you just mow a straight line.
Yep.
So what do you think, boss? What we should do at this point? Obviously, we need to bring this up because it was one of the items that we were going to follow up on from February. Is there, how do you want to handle this, Jeremy? I know it doesn't quite fall into what you had in mind, I don't think, but I think it was something that, because of the necessity for Paul Fisher Park, we needed to discuss it this evening. And if there's anything that we can do, getting hold of Max and seeing if we could move forward, that would be my recommendation, but I'm not quite sure if that's the way to go about it.
So what I'm hearing is the top priority is irrigation,
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes,
I think
and then
so, yeah.
shade.
then shade trees,
yes,
then exploring the possibility of putting some canopies up for shade around the playground and stuff until the shade trees get
Correct.
big.
Yeah.
Mhm.
At
Correct.
the same time, we're looking at those well heads. Is there a way that we can put that below grade? Is I understanding?
yeah, I think you're doing pretty good.
Okay,
Like-
all of these items are doable. I have Max working on getting some irrigation companies to come out and reevaluate the system and
Okay,
give us
Yeah.
some price
Good.
quotes. And he said that these companies, trying to get them out here is like pulling teeth.
Yeah.
They want us to pay them money to come out and just give them a quote. But I have him working on this, and I told him it's a priority. And it's a personal goal of mine to get the irrigation in place before the dry season. That's something I really want to shoot for.
Yeah,
And
it is. Mm.
Yeah, we do have resources in the budget now to make it happen.
okay,
For the
good.
irrigation?
Yes.
Okay, well, cool.
Good.
I'm fairly certain, I'll check, I need to check that when I get back to the office, but I do think we have budget.
Well, I think so too from last year, how we kind of discussed that in detail before we got to the actual master plan. But I think this would nearly be a priority.
Yeah,
And as all said, it lets people know that we are doing something.
yes, yes.
So we want to then, as far as priorities, it would be irrigation,
Yep. Mhm.
and then trees, and then the wellheads.
But we'd have to put some kind of shade first with the canopy.
Okay,
That would be a kind of a temporary thing at this point. So we don't put the trees in the wrong place.
I would, well, yeah. Well, I'm looking at Paul Fisher concept plan, the master plan, and I'm seeing, I'm seeing trees and bushes and all kinds of landscaping stuff, which was, I'm assuming, done by a landscape architect.
Mhm.
So I would assume,
Didn't
I
they put
would've-
in those little triangle those little triangle square shade covers? You know, they're like triangles, rectangles.
Yeah,
yes, yeah, it's on the master plan.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I see, well, I'm definitely seeing one at the, it would be the, northwest end of the playground.
Okay.
I don't know, that's the only one I'm seeing right now.
Because wouldn't we necessarily have to have them by the swings to make it more comfortable for the kids? Or, close to that area where the parents can keep an eye on them?
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, there's some benches there that the parents usually sit in on, watching the kids play. Of course, then the parents are also standing in the playground area.
Mm-hmm.
Are we talking about temporary shade at this point with the canopies, or are you referring to the actual shade, whatever they've designed for when it's comes into place? I think we should really just be talking about putting temporary canopies up at this point until we know exactly how it's going to, the final drawings are going to be.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
agree.
I agree. Yeah.
It looks like too, there might be a shade canopy on the south end of the park, right in the middle of the, well, south end of the playground area. Right in the middle of the set off on the playground.
But on the legend, it doesn't identify, from what I can see, umbrellas or canopies as such. It just mentions shade trees, conifer trees, planted area, seasonal color, basketball court, security cameras.
On the master plan, I'm seeing on these canopies, I'm seeing it says play plaza and shade structure. And I'm seeing two of them.
So would it be feasible to put the shade structures over the playground equipment?
That's kind of large.
Is it? Okay. All right.
They're kind of large. Mhm.
Yeah.
Why don't we go with blue tarps?
Well, that's, the temporary ones. So that's the key at this point, I feel,
Yeah, just like
because the permanent ones may change as the concept drawing changes somewhat.
mm-hmm.
Well, if we put these canopies up, they're gonna have to be there for a while. We have to
Well,
keep
through the
that in
summer.
mind.
Through
Yeah,
the summer.
Well, I don't know how long it takes shade trees to grow.
Well, my thinking would be they would be temporary during the summer, and then we would take them down and put them back up again until we decide, because we really don't know when the Rolling Rock Paul Fisher Park is actually going to break ground on this concept plan, do we? Because we don't have the money.
Well, yeah, that's why we're here trying to do little things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say we go ahead with the canvas ones where we can put them up and take them down until we finally decide where things are going.
Well, I agree on that. I think that's a good idea. And I don't, like I said, I don't know how big of trees you can purchase, but we'll have to find that out and how expensive they are.
But then again, that would be part of the funding for the development of Paul Fisher Park. Do we need to make some kind of a strategic motion to move on from here and see, so we can see in some kind of a incremental step development on this? What do you
Well, I
think?
think, yeah, I think that's kind of what we're kind of discussing, because I don't think we should be relying on grants for quite a while.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be nice, but I think this is why we're here, is to figure out if we can afford to get some of these smaller projects done with, you know, the budget that we have.
Yeah.
And I think we could probably apparently afford the irrigation and look into seeing if we can purchase shade trees. And kind of take it from there, I guess. Because we still need to, yeah, we still need a little bit more information, but I think we need to just prioritize which way we want to go on this without relying on grants right now.
Okay. Yeah, I think we should do the irrigation and do something about shade covering. And then the trees can always come after that if there's money left.
And when we know
True.
how the final drawings are going to be.
But if yeah, because you know, to try and decide where we're gonna put trees doesn't cover the shade issue.
I would recommend that you put that in the form of a motion to recommend that to city council, because that will give me my marching orders, and I think that'll carry a lot of weight with the city council as well. That's my recommendation.
Okay. Well, I motion to go ahead with the irrigation system and to work on something for shade covering.
I.e. temporary canopies.
Temporary canopies, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
As
You
the
have a
budget
second?
allows.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
I
Aye.
Aye. Nobody opposed? Okay. We have a little bit of direction here.
good.
I know what we talked about as far as, you know, we were thinking, get the trees in, but then you'd have to get water bags around the trees because we didn't have the irrigation. And so we should have put the trees in after the irrigation, you know, so at least they get watered. So I think, get the irrigation going, get the canopies up, and then worry about the shade trees.
Exactly. I agree.
And I still want the wellheads kind of in the picture. I would like it.
Yeah, that it makes it's a safety issue.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Can I, well, I'm sorry to kind of go back under business from the previous meeting, and of course it's so long ago. I just want to clarify a couple of things here. Jeremy, item 1 on the old new business was we normally give money to the school district for the summer program. Now, I don't know if that ever materialized because of the change in conditions. So that would be interested to know if we still have that $2,000 or has the school got it?
Oh, okay, the summer recreation program.
Yeah, yeah,
I think
yeah,
we-
because they're on a fantastic program, the school district, through the summer. And we help to fund that. And it's just a question of knowing accounting as really. We recommend it and then it comes from the city.
Okay, I don't know the answer to that, but I can
Yeah,
find out
yeah.
when I get to the office and let you know.
Yeah. Just kind of bringing us up to date on things. But it's something that they may want to come back this summer and try to do something. So just make you aware of that.
Yeah.
I anticipate that they will. I had a conversation with the superintendent about that, and they're grateful for our contribution.
Yeah.
Contribution and anticipate the program continuing.
Now, the other item that was and I don't know what the situation is now because things have changed, having a food vendor at Rolling Rock Park throughout the summer. And these people came and did a presentation and it looked very good. And we agreed to that. And of course, things changed. However, for the Parks Committee's benefit, the Blackbridge Jam Committee discussed what we could do throughout the summer to kind of keep things interesting in the community. Movie night, etc. And it was suggested to have some kind of a food vendor out there when we had activities. And I've just, I didn't think about this couple here that are local. And it is kind of a parks issue as well, that maybe that may be a good idea to do that. And I think we really need to bring this to the Parks Committee as well, because these things will be happening in the park. But the idea was to have the movie night and have some vendor out there a couple of hours beforehand, get the community out, help the vendor to try and keep his business afloat. And that was a general idea, to have 2 or 3 events, several events through the summer. So I just kind of want to bring that to everybody's attention. Forgive me for doing that, Jeremy, but I thought it was kind of important.
Oh, I think so too. Thanks for bringing that up.
And if we the broader scheme that we go ahead with that, then it would be good to have a local outfit come if they could do it, because they were anxious to come on a Saturday and a Sunday. Do you remember that all? That this couple came and gave a presentation. And
Yeah, I
thought it was a good
remember
idea.
And,
So
and I think
Go ahead.
we kind of went with it, we approved it, and
Yes.
then everything kind of.
fell apart.
Yeah, fell apart. I don't know if these people would still be interested or what, I don't know.
And of course, the thing is, the way things are, they may have had to fold up their business too because of
Yeah.
lack of food. But it would be good if there should be somewhere in the minutes going back, probably a little bit more information on who they were. So I'll see if I can find some more information about them, and maybe it's something we can look into.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, that's just by way of information. I just wanted to let everybody know. So if that's all right with you, Jeremy, I would follow up to see if they are in business, and then we can take that further if necessary. That's all I've got to say.
For now.
I don't think we need a motion on that, do we? It's just information, right, Jeremy?
I would agree.
Hmm.
Anything else, gentlemen? I got out of this meeting what I needed, which was prioritize what we need to start working on the parks. Is there anything else on your mind while everybody's here together, or do you feel good about the conversation we had tonight?
Yeah, I say we got our foot in the door right now, and we need to get this thing going, start rolling with it.
Okay,
I don't know if you want to, Jeremy, touch on some of the ideas that came from that Blackberry Jam Committee that would affect the parks, that you might want to mention some of the ideas. I don't know, like the potted plant, which I'm don't quite understand, not being a gardener.
Yeah, actually, I talked to Selena today, and it's gonna happen on May 1st, and they're gonna dump, and it's gonna be like a hands-on with pots and plants, and then the Grange is gonna give away all those seed packets that they used to give away for Sunday brunch. The first
Breakfast.
breakfast,
Mm.
and it's and kind of like a swap meet of plants, and it probably, I don't know where. I think they're talking about maybe doing it, um, probably. Well, I don't know what was going on with that patch that they put in at Rolling Rock Park.
I think it was going to, on that open space behind the caboose and at the side of the
Right.
coffee shop, that open space that I understood was probably was a good place to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because in the park, it's kind of uneven and we don't want trucks driving around there and filling up the boots, or trunks, I should say.
Right. Yeah.
And Jeremy was going to put some tables up there, I believe, as well.
yeah, this is something that Banner Bank wanted to sponsor. The person who manages the branches in Oak Ridge and Pleasant Hill. She's a volunteer member of Blackberry Jam Festival Committee.
Yeah.
And that's an idea that she had. Some other ideas, as George mentioned, were to have maybe 2 movie nights in Rolling Rock Park this year, starting maybe around the July timeframe, lasting through October. We could have more of those this year and include or invite a selection of food vendors, food trucks to come out for that. At the same time, we could also look at having some support, not a horseshoe tournament, but just putting it out there, horseshoe, cornhole for people while they're waiting for the movie to start. What other ideas did we talk about, George? I think the movie night was the big one.
Yeah, because we felt that was easier to do and the safest to do, because you could isolate groups, and that would be good. One other thing and of course they're going to have the quilt show, of course, as usual. And then instead of the car show, the idea was to have a car cruise through all the streets in Lowell and have some kind of voting system with identification that what you thought was a good car, a funny car, etc. I've got to get to the mechanics on that part. Not quite sure how we'll do that. But there again, I talked to the car club yesterday, and they seem kind of interested. Of course, it takes a while to put these things together. But that's something of interest, that we'll take the car show to the people rather than people coming to the car show. That was the concept of it.
Yeah.
And then any other ideas that we have that would be safe, because we still got to remember we still have to have social distancing, etc., until we've got 95% of people vaccinated, basically. So any ideas would be welcome. But there again, we thought the movie night was the safest avenue to go down.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and movie night did go over pretty big.
It
Yeah.
did, yeah.
Yeah. We just got a late start on that.
What month did we start? Oh, I know I was on vacation and we missed it. you know,
I don't know, it was in the summer, summertime when we had the movies.
yeah. Mm.
I think, were there 2 movie nights? Or did we just have one?
I thought it was two,
Yeah,
and
it
we
might have
missed
been
them
2.
both. But
Yeah,
I think it's a slam dunk from what I heard from everyone.
Yeah.
yeah, everybody enjoyed it.
Mm. So as soon as you can get all the shown, the better.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have anything more to say. I've said enough, I guess.
No.
Well, I don't know unless Jeremy has something on his mind. I think what we all need to do is, for me anyway, I've got the Paul Fisher master plan with me, and I've got the breakdown of the cost of various situations, and I think I'm gonna continue to study this and continue to mark down what would be the easiest and least expensive to get things done at Paul Fisher without relying on grants.
That sounds good.
Okay, so I'm gonna continue to work on that, and I don't know who we would call to, as far as canopies for shade, but I'm
Oh,
sure.
well, we have some pretty big ones at the city hall, don't we? Or in the storage.
I don't
I think
have
we
a clue.
do. Yeah, I think we do. Yeah, I think we do. Because we had different sizes for the kids' corner, and then we had some rectangular ones as well. And they're probably in the storage. Joyce would probably be more familiar what we've got in there, and Max.
Okay,
Y'all know more about what's in City Hall than I do.
We've been round twice. When I say city hall, that's all we had the storage till we got the storage facility.
yeah, okay.
All right.
Well, is there anything else?
Yes, one other thing. I think we probably need to get back to our regular date for our regular monthly meeting, because tonight is the Grange night, and we normally have this meeting. It would be next week on the 18th, I believe, to fall in line with the third Thursday of the month, I believe, is when we have normally had the Parks Committee. So I think we got a little bit off track.
Where's my calendar? So do you want to go to every third Thursday then?
Well, that's what we've normally had. Is that correct? I believe that's correct.
Okay.
Well, I got down, I've got some paperwork here that,
What was the,
we had one on the 27th of February, this 2020, and February 13th, 2020. They're both on a Thursday.
I don't have the calendar to tell me what day of the month that was. What, you know, was it the third? I think it should be the third Thursday, I believe.
Yeah, you might be right.
I think that's correct. And I don't have a,
Well, that would put us at April 15th, tax day. The third Thursday is April 15th.
All right.
That works for me.
So you're saying April 15th should be our next meeting?
Unless you want to do it sooner.
No,
Well, No, we really to have it, keep, because there's so many other meetings going on within the city that people are involved in, you know. we have to
Right,
be-
right. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, the 15th sounds good to me.
okay. Oh, there goes George again.
Now, is it possible to have it at the library on the 15th?
Yeah, y'all can come in here, you just need to wear your mask.
Okay, yes, I would like to do that.
Very nice. I would like to see you.
Okay. I'll bring donuts.
All right.
Sorry, I ran away looking for an old calendar and I can't find one that's, just to clarify.
I have last year's calendar in my house. I'll take a look when I get home.
Yeah, I want to make sure before we kind of put something out and then having to change it. Is that all right, Jeremy, that we get back with you? Paul will get with you,
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah.
just to
and then
make
he can-
sure, yeah.
You don't need to decide that tonight. I'll get up with Paul and coordinate it.
Yeah,
and
good. Mm.
Then
Okay.
Jeremy can email everybody.
Okay,
To let them know, yeah, this is the way we're going. Okay, so is that it? Anything else?
I think so.
All right. Then we will adjourn the meeting at 7:50. Adjourned.
yay.
Thank you. Thanks,
Alrighty.
guys. Thank you.
Good night, gentlemen.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Good night.